By now, I'm sure all of you have heard of the Ferguson case involving Michael Brown and Officer Wilson. I just want to take the next few minutes to explain all the information behind the case. I would also like to share some statistics on the town Ferguson, Missouri. The entire town is composed of a white police force. There are approximately 21,000 people living there, and of that population, about 70% is African American. On August 8, 2014, Michael Brown and his friend Dorian Johnson became suspects of robbery by white cop Darren Wilson. The two were expected to have stolen a $48 box of Swisher Sweet cigars from Ferguson Markets and Liquors. The two were stopped because they fit the identity of the suspect involved in the convenience store theft. According to Wilson, Brown charged the vehicle trying to get inside to steal the gun. Witnesses either agree with Wilson or they think otherwise, but many do state that there was altercations between both Brown and Wilson. After the altercations between the two, it is said that multiple shots were fired. According to Brown's autopsy report, he was shot multiple times and there were multiple bullet entry points. He was shot 4 times in the arm and 2 in the hand. It's predicted that the shots that were in his hand came from a very close range. This either indicates unnecessary police aggression or that Brown did in fact try to reach in the vehicle in attempts to grab a weapon. From August 20th to November 24th, a grand jury was set to review all of the witness statements and piece together the evidence in order to reach a final conclusion. They decided to not indict Officer Wilson. This decision started even more protests than those that were taking place before the court case even began. In the beginning of the video, you saw a segment from a protest taking place in New York City. Some more drastic measures that are taking place are the burning of buildings and looting of businesses in the town of Ferguson. The National Guard is being brought in to deal with some of the angry protesters. They are trained to deal with the violence and to understand the tactics behind the protests. President Obama states that there is no excuse for violence from or against police officers.
We are all for the protesting in Ferguson, Missouri, and countless other cities across the United States, like Los Angeles, California, Chicago, and New York, and countless other cities that are protesting because of the non-indictment. But we do not, I repeat, we do not think that violence should be the way. And so far, it's been very peaceful. But with the Ferguson decision, some cities, for example, Ferguson, Missouri, has been abruptly disturbed by violence. We do not condone violence, and we believe violence is not the way to solve this issue. Violence will only create a bigger and larger issue, and it's not going to help something as serious as a political system that criminalizes and discriminates racially our African black men. There are many riots being taken place all across cities in New York, Los Angeles, and including Chicago, and many other cities that are also protesting against the non-indictment charges. It's not only a racial issue, it's also a moral issue. And because of this, we stand with the decision to actually protest in those cities and countless other cities for justice for Michael Brown, who is only 18 years old. He can no longer kiss his mom, say hi, see his friends, or even joke, because now he is gone. Black lives, of course they matter. Yes, they do. Black lives, they do matter. And because of this, we are for the protests in Ferguson, Missouri, due to the non-indictment of the white police officer that shot and killed Michael Brown.
I know that I am not as much impacted as other people because my family is not into politics and stuff like that, but I know it does impact a lot of families in the way that some people are afraid of, letting their kids go and not knowing what's going to happen to them. Or, just regular people walking down the street, you don't know what's going to go ahead and happen. Some people are really scared of the cops now, and I know personally, I think that what scares people the most is that, cops are supposed to be there to help you and get you through what you need to do, but there's been so many videos now that show, all these cops' morality and all this other stuff. So now I know that if this doesn't change, it could affects all of us in the future as we have families, because it's something that you're going to have to teach your kids whether or not cops are good or bad. And I think that's not good, because when I was growing up, I know that I always had to go to a cop if something bad happened, no matter what. If I got lost, I had to go to a cop. I think that now this is changing the way families teach their kids, because it changes the way that cops are viewed, and that's not good, because not all cops are bad.